All right. Hello and welcome to Pre-Calculus Summer Edition. Excuse me. Oh, hold on. I want to do one other thing before I start talking. Okay. I just wanted to say hello and introduce myself and show you a little bit around the course and point out some things that can cause some trouble if we're not aware of them. The first thing is that I am using a computer to show you the stuff I'm going to show you. It's going to look different if you're using a tablet or or a phone, right? So on those devices, how you navigate through Canvas will look a little different, but all the content is the same. I use a computer because I am a little bit older, and as you can see, I wear glasses, and so I really appreciate the large screen and the ability to enlarge text and have all that space. I don't usually use a tablet, definitely never a phone for Canvas, but it works, of course, to get most of the content. There is actually, though, one instance where a phone and maybe even a tablet won't work, and that is for our weekly exams. So we are going to have an exam every week. You can read about it in the syllabus, but they do require a lockdown browser. And from what I understand, it doesn't work on a phone for the most part, and sometimes works on a tablet. So the lockdown browser we're using is called Respondus. It's the one that Fresno City College uses, as far as I know. And it requires a webcam and the ability to actually download the particular special browser that it is. Um, so I've heard that if you have a Chromebook, it will work as long as you have a special, it's not special, but a Chrome extension that you can download. So it'll work on a Chromebook. That's what I hear. I have heard that it's possible to use on an iPad, but I have also heard that it's very unreliable. So, in summary, a computer, either a laptop or a desktop with a webcam, is required for the exams, and a tablet or a phone just won't work. I think we can assume that. Now, a Chromebook is like in between. A Chromebook is like a tablet, but also a laptop, and so that's where that's a little bit different. So if you have any issues with that or questions about that, contact me and we can talk about it and see what's going on. Okay, let's take a look at Canvas. So I'm going to share my screen. If I remember how to do that. Um, oh, there it is. Okay. Um, yes, but hold on. Why is that not? Oh, I see. I was pressing the wrong button. Okay, so I want to show this screen. No, I actually want to show this application right there. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Let's see. Yes, so now you should be able to see my screen and I should be in the corner somewhere. Hello. Okay, so let's take a look at Canvas. So when you first log in on a computer, that is, like I said, it's going to look different on a tablet. On a computer, you get your dashboard, and then if you click on our tile for Math 4B, you will see the home page. That's what this is called. And I'm actually gonna, let me view it as a student for a minute so you can see. Okay, so this is what it looks like. On here is a little quick message that I actually wrote before the course. Like today is Monday, so the course hasn't officially started yet. So this message here is for those of you who were looking at the course before the official start date. I will probably edit this page shortly after the course starts, and I may edit it periodically throughout the course. Um, so there's a little message here, and then of course your homepage has stuff coming up in your to-do list. My contact info is here also, and then two links here are here that take you to the modules. It turns out both of these links go to the same place. So, but these links will take you to the same place as over here in this menu. This menu is called the course navigation menu, and so is how you can go to different spots throughout the course. Just in case you were wondering, the menu to the left of that's called the global navigation menu, and that's where you kind of are navigating through Canvas and all of your courses and stuff on there. So it's global Canvas wise. This one is um, specific for each course. So like I can choose what things appear there and stuff like that. Um, oh, I think I just realized that on the syllabus, did I leave out a section about tutoring? If I did, I will go back and edit that because here are two links to the tutoring that Fresno City College offers. So, but that was not what I had intended to talk about. So let's see. Oh yes. So the way this course was designed, I designed it to be navigated from the modules page. So let's click here. If we click on one of those things, this is the modules page. So each of these gray bars is the start of is a module, right? So this is you can collapse the modules. Um, so right now there's only two. There's a start here resource with some introductory stuff and textbook and information. And then the week one modules here, which is definitely not finished. There's going to be way more stuff here than is right now. But you know, it's it's been hectic. Last week was finals at Fresno City College. Maybe some of you took your finals. I hope that went well. Um, and so there will be, where am I? I'm getting lost in my notes here. All right. So right now, the week one only has our first discussion, some the textbook sections that are referenced in week one material, and then this is I'm calling it practice, but it's basically the homework assignments. I like to call them practice because, first of all, in an online class, everything's done at home or wherever you work from, and also like all the other stuff we have to do is also homework. So it's not just these problems that are homework, but it's also the lecture videos, which are going to be here soon. Um, there will be quizzes, there'll be exams, and all kinds of stuff will be there. So that will change as we go. And then there will be, actually, I'm going to leave student view for a second. Um, so this is my view, so you won't be able to see what I see here, but there will be a module for every week. I think it's easiest to do it by week. Since we only have 4 weeks, it goes so fast. So there will be, every week there will be a module, and each one will basically contain the same things. Like there will be a discussion every week. There'll be textbook sections. There'll be lecture videos, which there's my placeholder for that. That's my, to remind me that I need to post that still. There'll be a homework assignment called practice. On week one, there'll be a practice exam so that we can practice using Respondus. And then typically there will also be a quiz for weeks 2, 3, and 4. Well, weeks 2 and 3, there will be two quizzes. There'll be a Monday quiz and a Friday quiz. You can read about that in the syllabus. And on week 4, there will not be a Friday quiz because Friday is our last day and that will be the final exam. So I guess we could do a Thursday quiz that day. Anyway, okay. So the way I've designed it is I imagine that you access the course on a computer, which I know is not always true, but in my mind, I imagine you use computers and that you always start at modules. Like every time you log in, you're going to click on the modules page, and that's where you're going to start from. I have learned that not all students navigate it that way, but I am going to ask you that you at least look at the modules a couple times a week. Because if you don't ever access the modules page and you only go to say assignments, you will only see the kinds of things in Canvas that are assigned, right? That are assigned as in graded and assigned. But if you go to modules, you can see that there's a bunch of pages with information, but because they're not assignments, then they don't show up on the calendar or on your to-do list or on the assignments page. And so you would miss all that if you didn't go through modules. So I am asking you to access the modules so that you can always see what's there. Now, of course, once you've looked at the modules and you know what's there, you don't have to look at it every time, but I definitely would ask you to look at the modules so that you don't miss anything that's there. Now, I know that I am able to add things manually to the calendar and your to-do list. So like if I added a page here that was just information, but it wasn't an assignment, but I wanted you to look at it, I could add it to your to-do list. So I may do that with some things if I remember. I am required, when I do that, I have to put a date. And so sometimes I'm a little, I don't necessarily want to do that because I feel like you're going to think it's due on that day, and it's really not due at all. But I have to give it a date so that it'll show up somewhere on your list or your calendar. So if you ever see things that aren't assignments but show up with dates on your calendar or to-do list, that's what they are. They're pages that I want you to look at. And so that's supposed to be a little reminder to you that if you haven't looked at modules lately, there's stuff in the modules to look at. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. What I did when I was thinking about this, I was looking at the calendar on the iPad, and I found that it didn't have everything that it should have on it. So let me show you that real quick. Um, I'm going to switch the share real quick. I'm going to show you the iPad. Just waiting there for me, but I have to click many things and do many things. Here we go. Yeah, I swear it's, oh, there it is. Okay, so you can see it. So so this is an iPad. If you go to an iPad and you open Canvas Student, is this Canvas Student? I think so. Yeah. And you open the Canvas Student app, this is what you see if you're in landscape mode. Okay, so there's our class. There's our class. And so with at least with an iPad, you do get the welcome page. But notice up here at the top, there's the calendar to do notification stuff. So what I'm confused about is the to-do list, even though there are assignments due, they're not showing on here. So I'm not sure why. Um, I don't know. I was thinking maybe it's because the course hasn't officially started yet. Maybe tomorrow, once the course officially starts, there will be stuff there. But if I look on the computer and I look on the to do, it shows the, update your Canvas profile and the introduce yourself. So I don't quite understand. And also, if you click on calendar and I have Tuesday selected here, all it shows is the scheduled student hour, right? That's like the office hour for Tuesday, even though there is an assignment or two assignments due that day. So I don't understand. One thing though with the tablet, if you see here where it says calendars, you get to choose which classes you see calendar stuff for. So if our class isn't selected, you're not going to see anything anyway. But even if it is selected, I don't understand why the tablet is not showing the stuff that the computer shows. So I don't understand if that's just if the calendar just doesn't work right on the app, or I don't know. So just be aware that the if you use the Canvas student app on a device, the calendar might not act right. All right, let me go back to the computer. Okay, yes, now you can see this again. So if we go to, just let me show you, if you go to calendar on a computer, you can see here, right, that today is the 26th. Tomorrow, there's these two. Why is it so small? Um, there's the week one discussion one, introduce yourself. And there's the update your Canvas profile. So they're on the calendar in Canvas on the computer, but they don't show up on the tablet. So I don't know what's going on. Also recall here, I mean, look here that you can choose the calendars here also. So if Math 4B isn't selected, then you won't see anything at all. So, um, okay, so that's that. Let's go back to the course. All right, what else? Okay. Yep. All right. So I do want to point out that I am offering office hours, or I'm calling them student hours because they're really for you, right? And there's no office. Every day, Monday through Thursday, and you access those with this Zoom link over here in the course navigation menu. So if you click on Zoom, they're all scheduled there already. So there's one tomorrow. And so you could just click this join button and it'll open the Zoom room and I should be there. And you can say hi and ask questions and just chat, do whatever you want. So the times, I'm not doing it at the same time every day. So tomorrow's Tuesday. So the Tuesday meetings are in 2 p.m. So they're in sort of the early afternoon. The Wednesday meetings are in the evening, 6 to 7. The Thursday meetings are in the morning, 9 to 10. And the Monday meetings are sort of, they're at noon, so lunchtime. So I did that so to give people a variety of choices, right? Maybe some people can come in the mornings, but not in the evenings or whatever. So if no one is attending some of these after a week or so, I may change the times if you have a particular scheduling issue and that you want to let me know about, I am perfectly fine with adjusting these times. Or, of course, these are not the only times we could talk. Right? If you want to talk Saturday mornings because that's the time you have, I'd be happy to talk with you for a little while on Zoom on Saturday mornings. But these are all pre-scheduled and ready to go. Okay. Is that all? Yes, I think that is all. It was nice to virtually introduce myself to you, and I hope to see some of you soon. And so, if your question is now, well, what should I do first? This is what you should do. You should start here at the Start Here module, right? Once this video is posted, there'll be another page here that has this video and a link to the syllabus, which you can always read, get the syllabus over here. But the first things you should do is read the syllabus, read it all the way through. And if there's anything missing from the syllabus, like if you have questions about the class that aren't answered in the syllabus, send me them right away, because that just means I overlooked that information, which is totally possible. So start with reading the syllabus. Write down any questions you have and send them to me via message or drop in during student hours tomorrow and ask. Update your Canvas profile. So do everything in the Start Here module, right? And the first assignment is to update your Canvas profile. And so in this assignment, you can read about all the stuff you can do. You can add a picture, you can do all kinds of stuff, set your notifications properly, which is one of the the most important things in an online class, is because I'm going to be communicating with you mostly through Canvas, right? Messages, announcements, all that stuff. And if you're not being notified of those, then things slow down a lot. So that's where you set your notification preferences and update your profile. And then this is actually an assignment. So once you've done all that, just click on this Start Assignment and then type in a little thing that says, I did it. Right? You can tell me something you learned if you learned something you hadn't known before. And if you had already set up your profile and everything is good, you can just type in here, it's done, or I've already done it, or something like that. And then you would click Submit Assignment here. Okay, so do that. And then continue on, right? Take a look at the textbook. It's online, it's totally free, so take a look at that and make sure you can access it. You can bookmark it on your browser. You can download it as a PDF and store it on your device, or whatever you want to do so that it's easily accessible when you need it. Check out these useful websites. This stuff is here. It'll stay here all the whole term. It's basically just reference for the what's called toolkit functions, which we'll get into in the class. And then the other thing that's due on the first day of class is the introduce yourself discussion. So it's just where you tell us a little bit about yourself and everybody fills it out, and then you can read your classmates' responses. One thing I did not put in here, that's funny, that I think I might add, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just send out a survey or something. I do kind of want to know what kind of device you are planning on using so I can get an idea of how many issues we might have. And so you've got to do your initial post and response. So here you can read that, right? So that's where you should start. Start at the beginning, which is a very good place to start. All right, I very much look forward to seeing some of you in the student hours this week, maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday or both. And as always, if you have any questions, you can contact me. My contact info is on the syllabus and it's also on the home page. Speaking of contact, Canvas inbox is the best. So that's, if you look on a computer over here, it says inbox. That's the best way to communicate with me. Emails tend to get lost, but Canvas messages don't. You could also text message me though. There's my cell number. You could send me a text message, but email will work too. I'll get it. You just might have to. That was a weird noise. Email is one of those things where if I don't respond like within a day, I probably missed it. So feel free to send another one. All right, I'll be done talking and I look forward to working with you.